I'm here for day 2 of the 100 Day project. My project is 100 days of mixed media charms and clusters. And yesterday, this is the cluster, the charm that I made. I used rusty wire, I used a rusty safety pin, I used book parts, and I used some dyed cheesecloth. And I put it all on a piece of paper that had the plaster of Paris mixture that I told you about. This plaster of Paris, gesso, and matte medium. So that was day 1, and tonight I'm not going to use the rusty wire. I'm going to use a stick, a small stick. I've got a piece of cardboard that has the plaster of Paris mixture on it, and I'm going to tear off a piece of this. I'm going to try to use my ruler that I told you about, the ruler that April, that Autumn Moon taught us to use, where it has notches in it and it tears and gives you sort of a deckled edge. I also burned this. I used a candle to burn this cardboard, so I'm going to tear it to where I have this burn mark on it as well. Last night's video was so bad, but I haven't posted it yet, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. I had rustling papers and it was a mess. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to take off this bit. I hope I'm going to stay. I also was off camera a lot of the time, so I've got a little bit of this cardboard that's come unattached, so I'm going to use some 3-in-1 glue to glue that down. I've got tape here to try to keep me in frame. So, okay, so this is still probably a little bit too wide. I don't want to take all of the plaster of Paris off, but I'm going to take some of it off. So let's see how that's going to work. I've got this piece of fabric that has some of the plaster of Paris mixture that I used. I just put my finger in it and put it on this fabric. The first thing I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to take this little stick. I'm going to try not to take the thread off my needle. I've got it threaded for some stitching, but before I do that, I want to take this embroidery floss and just wrap it around this stick. And I'm going to take a dab of glue and glue it to the stick. Glue the end before I cut it off. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to take the piece of fabric. I'm going to take my needle with the embroidery floss on it. I'm going to tie a knot. All kinds of ways to tie knots, whatever you have been taught to do. They don't always work either, so. as I said, they don't always work. Okay, this is a quilter's knot, so that's what I'm going to do. Could you tell I was once a quilter? Okay, so that's good. Okay, so I'm going to take this little piece of fabric and I am going to stitch it to this stick, and I'm just going to use a whip stitch to do that. No decorative stitching. I'm just attaching it to the wood or over the wood. I'm not attaching it to it. That'd be pretty difficult. Okay, I'm going to tie off a knot here. And that looks pretty cute. Okay, so that's, well, I think I'm going to leave that because I might do a couple of stitches. So I'm going to take this piece of cardboard, and I want to show both the burn mark and the plaster of Paris. Maybe I'll take a little bit off of this side. And I'll take my 3-in-1 glue. And attach it. And hold it for a minute while it adheres. And I have this piece of book parts that I'm going to stitch both through the cardboard and through the book part and the fabric. Like I said, I haven't posted the video from yesterday. I was tempted not to do it, but I think I'm going to go back and do it anyway, so. This is a bit of a wonky cross stitch. Out of my line. I still haven't found my buttons, so I need to do that before too long, because that's a decorative element that I like to use with these. My obviously going through the plaster of Paris. It's just really difficult to pull the needle through. And I'm going to do one last one. Got my thread twisted, which doesn't help it to come through either. All right, so I'll finish up this last cross stitch. Okay, and now I'm going to tie that off on the back. And maybe do one more since it's got the cardboard here. Cut my thread. Okay, so this is my charm for day 2 of the 100-day project. So thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.